not a kid, girl. You ain't a yo-yo. One more time, then I go solo. 2 more times, then I'm going loco. You should change your name to Boomerang. Instead of breaking up, you should be making up. Let's not go back and forth, Boomerang. Tired of going up and down. You send me round and round. Are you really down, Boomerang? It's like a movie star, flawless, fire in your eyes, yeah. Eyes like a mesmerize, you know this, had me hypnotized, yeah. I guess he went and broke your heart. Bet he made you cry, yeah. So here we go again. I'm back at sound the best that you ever had. If you come home, my heart can mend. But if you leave, don't come back again. Like a boomerang. Instead of breaking up, you should be making up. Let's not go back and forth, boomerang. Tired of going up and down. You send me round and round. Are you really down, boomerang? Is it good night or hello? Is it stop? Is it go? Is it south? Is it north? Do you know I won't stay here in the rain? I don't like boomerangs. Yes or no? Is it stop? Is it go? Boomerang. Instead of breaking up, you should be making up. Not go back and forth, boomerang. Tired of going up and down. You send me round and round. Are you really down, boomerang? Are you gonna be mine? Yeah. I don't play with boomerang. Is it yes or is it no? Is it stop or is it go on? You know what I'm saying, baby? Tell me how you really down. Would you stay around, boomerang? Let's not go back and forth. I'm sincerely yours. You know I want you. I know you know it. I know you want me. Oh, tell me. I know you want me, You've been on my mind so crazy. Till everywhere I look, you seem to appear. It's crazy. Say what? Say what? Say what? Come on, Snare. It's so hard when I turn the TV on. 9 o'clock, the news is on. Damn, you look like the weather girl. Same lips, same eyes, girl. Thought I seen you on a TV show. It wasn't you. I turned to HBO. You look like Dorothy Dandridge. I'll make it up to you. Just give me one more try. 'Cause I got love for you. Don't get me wrong, alright. I'm trying to rock with you. Just give me one more try. It's killing me. 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 Damn, it's hard when the radio is on. 1 o'clock, the quiet storm. Turn the dial over to hip hop. Your favorite song, DJ Damn. Every time that I hear my phone, is it her? Carmen Jones. You look like Dorothy Dandridge. You were here, everything was okay. Now you're gone, things ain't never going my way. You were here, nights turn to broad daylight, but you're gone. Nothing seems to ever go right when you're here. All the bad goes it's out the door. So what you waiting for? I can't wait no more. I'll make it up to you. Just give me one more try. 'Cause I got love for you. Don't get me wrong or right. I'm kinda right with you. Just give it one more try. It's killing me. 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 Oh, give me tonight. I think it's about time I get him off your mind. I know you're moving on, but please give me a try. Of all the girls I love, you're the one that's on my mind. Girl, I'll make it up to you. Just give me one more try. I got love for you. And I'm wrong or right. I know with you. Just give me one more try. It's killing me. It's killing me. Killing me. Killing me. Killing me. I'll make it up to you. Girl, just give me one more try. I got love for you. And I'm wrong or right. With you. Just give me one try. It's killing me. Killing me. Killing me. Killing me. Killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me. There it is. You look like superstar. 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 The good life has begun. I met a girl, and I can't get her off of my mind. I've seen her in the VIP line, and now we're alone. The night is young, the city never sleeps, so let's have some fun till we see the sun. And that's the story of my life. I'm running with the wind whenever the night is on. Shorty is a 10, she's a phenomenon, and I don't know how the story ends tonight. I could be in Spain, but long as she's here with me, there's no other place that I would rather be. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. People fall in love in the city. People get rich in the city. People make it big in the city. I can feel it in the air. It's gonna be more than a one night affair. Close your eyes, let me take you there. Nothing can compare. We're going now. Let me show you what this town is all about. All about. Just let it out. And that's the story of my life. I'm running with the wind whenever the night is on. Shorty is a 10, she's a phenomenon, and I don't know how the story ends tonight. And I could be in Maine, but long as she's here with me, there's no other place that I would rather be. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yes, I'm a New York City boy. Yes, I'm a New York City boy.
And we are back. What's up? Salute to the cast and crew. Another week down in the books. A conversation with James Billings and friends. What's up, Drippy Dre,
What
Empress?
up?
Hey.
Chef Tammy, she's handling some things tonight, but we're gonna get right into it. We got a great show tonight, man. Really, really great show. We got a great guest. We're gonna bring her on in a little bit. But Drip, how was your weekend, brother?
My weekend was great. I actually went to the Bistro in the Bronx today and had some brunch. The
Okay.
nutcrackers and things like that was phenomenal. So the libations is good. We celebrating life. It was great.
Right.
What's up with you, Empress?
Nothing much. Finally enjoying a break from this heat. Was able to get outside and feel like I'm not swimming in air. But I'm a summer baby, so I'll take this over the snow any day. Dr. Philgood, what's up?
Man, great week. Just I'm really excited about this week because last week was the first time. Well, I had a great weekend, first of all. Did a lot of family stuff. But last week was the first time I kind of opened up the doors for the audience to take part in the show. And I got so much outcry and support, people wanting to get on the show. But I ran into this. Well, I can't say I ran. I was contacted by this young lady that had an amazing story. Amazing story. And our topic was narcissism, right? Because we were talking about narcissistic relationships and
them mofos.
And so it was great to kind of get the feedback from our audience because we get so many that kind of come into the chat room and chat with us. But now we're gonna open up the lines of communication where you can actually be on the show with us. Before we get started tonight, I want you guys to invite 10 friends into the room so we can fill this up because I'm telling y'all tonight we might go viral. We might go viral tonight with this one.
It's a little different.
We might go viral. And what's cool about it is these are real stories. So once again, any guests that come on, we definitely want to be it's a no judgment zone, so we don't judge you. We're not trying to we just want to hear your stories and share and see where we could come and have that communication. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into her question, right, I just want to play a video and then we'll warm everybody up. Now, this video was a husband catching a wife cheating for the second time. Catching his wife cheating for a second time. But look how this kind of broke down. All right. And then we'll bring our guest in. Let me get the everything rolling the right way. Here we go. Yep, share screen, audio. Okay. Here we go.
Hey, bro, let me tell you why she in a divorce. It's because I caught her on this ride cheating on me. Yeah, she already fucked one nigga up in Mississippi. Now I'm finding out she talking to you too. Yeah, tell this nigga that you fucked somebody else. Tell him.
I screwed somebody.
Exactly. Tell this motherfucker. And don't even sit here and try to play.
I screwed somebody.
She fucked another nigga, and now she done brought her dumb ass back home all the way to California to try to get back with me. And now I found out she talking to you too.
I'm not talking to you.
You are talking to this motherfucker. You've been talking to this motherfucker for the longest. And he don't know. I bet you don't know she married, do you? You don't know it. It ain't your fault. You don't know it. She lied to the other guy too. She didn't tell the guy she was married. Now, oh yeah, he's your friend, right? I bet you don't know about me. But you doing shit on my phone that I take care of you with, right? I pay for this fucking phone. You don't pay for the phone. I pay for every fucking thing you do. Every muscle on your body. Show them rings. Show the rings. I pay for all this fucking shit. And you take your ass on this fucking damn app and fuck with niggas, right? Huh?
No.
Yes, you do. Don't fucking lie. And you brought your ass all the way back here just for me to find out. Because you didn't know I was going to be smart enough to add the app back. Yeah, before she walked in the house, she deleted the app. No, but I put the shit right back on there, and guess what? All your messages popped up. But like I said, it ain't your fault. But I just want you to know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a slut right here. And I call her a slut because she's my fucking wife, and she's doing shit like this on me. You see what I'm saying? Don't cry now. Don't fucking cry now. And yes, again, she already fucked one nigga already. up in Mississippi and gonna call herself, gonna come back to me and make up for this shit. How you gonna make up for fucking somebody? Okay? Now tell this nigga, you married.
I'm married.
And you fucked up, ain't you?
And I'm fucked up.
You brought your ass all the way back here just for this?
He's just my friend.
He's not your friend. The other guy was your friend too. Everybody's your friend. Nobody's your friend without your husband being involved. None of my female friends are my friends and don't know my wife. None of them. And I don't be on no fucking app talking to nobody. Alright, bro. Have a nice day. Nice night, whatever you having. But it's about to be on over here. Say bye. Say bye. Say look at what? I don't have to look at shit. You shouldn't have been talking to nobody. Your daddy already told you. And just like you saying this nigga a friend, you was friending the other nigga and you ended up in the hotel room with him, fucking him. Shut the fuck up. You can't defend nothing. You always trying to defend your fucked up shit. And just a minute ago, she was in here crying, talking about, why are you leaving me? Why are you leaving me? Begging me to stay. And this the shit you doing to me? You just ain't had a chance to get with the nigga yet. That's the only thing. That's the only difference between this nigga and the other nigga. The other nigga, you got a chance to see. Him, you was going to get a chance to see. Because that's all it takes when you communicating back and forth. One day you going to see each other. I'm friend now. Friend. I done played the friend game with a whole bunch of damn women. Okay? Niggas playing you. And you stupid enough to believe the shit. Now she went to see the other nigga. He wouldn't even let her come to his house. He put her in a hotel room down the street from her house, and she still fucked him like a little 21-year-old would do. And she's 41 years old. And you ain't smart enough to fucking understand game. And then you dumb enough to come back to me trying to get me back. And you still talking to niggas. You about the most fucked up woman in the world. I don't give a fuck what your conversation was. You and the other dude conversation was just friendly. Everybody conversation is gonna be just friendly, okay? How you doing? Oh, I hope you're okay. You don't have to say, I wanna fuck you. You don't have to say it. Motherfuckers wanna fuck you, period. And you dumb enough to spread your fucking legs while you married. You going to hell, Shonda. Cause you're a hoe. You going to fucking hell.
Hey, you going to hell, Shonda. Hey. Oh, man.
We can't hear you, Dr. Phil.
Come off. I didn't want to get any. So before we bring our guests on tonight, you know, lately we've been looking at different scenarios that's caught on camera and having a conversation. So this woman was caught for the second time cheating on her husband. What's your thoughts about how he handled that and how that went down?
Just leave.
Say it again.
Just leave.
Okay.
While she married, you keep on emphasizing while she married. Cool. She fucked up. Leave her ass. Leave her cheating ass. Because real talk, if you gonna sit there and put a value on marriage saying she not valuing it, you not either. You talking to her like a dog.
She didn't need that though, because she playing him behind his back, and he caught her. She erased the app before he came home. Nah. It gets to be deceitful when you're doing something and you think you're gonna get away with it, and now I'm in front of you and I'm gonna bring up your messages that you sent in your face, and I'm gonna confront you to you. It's a difference.
Absolutely, but at the same time, yo, you fucked up. I'm gonna keep my integrity and make you feel even worse.
Nah, but I'm just saying you got to confront the situation though still.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to make you feel
you don't
worse.
Gotta know. She might try to pull that same wool over somebody else's eyes.
Man, listen, he need to just leave and she need to start charging.
Word.
I mean,
I'm just, yeah.
So, I mean,
Jess.
did he handle it the right way?
I
Is there
think
a right
so.
way to handle that?
I think so. That's his wife. That's not his girlfriend.
I
That's
know
somebody
that's
that
his
he
wife.
claimed
It's
that.
called a divorce.
No,
What
but
I'm
he
saying is,
claiming that as his. So I'm saying, well, what's he gonna do? Just pop up in court with a divorce lawyer? He not gonna say nothing to her.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But again, first of all, you recording it and putting it online. Whatever. But then, like, again, I don't need to verbally abuse you to say something.
Well, this is the deal, right? This is my take. That's her second time. Now he walks in the room. She tries to erase the app before he even sees it, and he puts it back on and catches her the second time. Now, if you caught what he said that they broke up. She came back to him and started this behavior again. This is why I'm not a fan of when you catch somebody cheating, you take them back. That ain't my thing. I'm not good on betrayal. I'm gonna let you go and keep it moving. We ain't working nothing out. I ain't trying to work it out. I'm gonna let you keep it moving, because people have a routine. You know, people have a way about themselves, and that seems like that's her routine. I mean, she got caught twice already, and then she's sobbing and crying like she didn't do anything. I mean, maybe he talked to her the wrong way, maybe, but I'm just saying.
She crying because she got caught.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right.
She not crying because she's losing her husband or she was a bad wife. She crying because she got caught.
Well, let's see. I mean, you know, if y'all in the chat room, I want y'all to add 10 friends to the show tonight. We have a great show tonight. Our topic last week. So I want to play that video to get things rolling before we brought our guest in. We getting ready to bring our guest in, Sonia. She'll be in a few minutes, and she got an amazing story. So last week I asked people if they had a story that they wanted to share about being in a narcissistic relationship, and how did you deal with that. So she's gonna come on tonight and share her story with us. Listen closely. It's something that she's learned from. So without further ado, we're gonna bring in Sonia. Let me add her to the room. What's up, Sonia?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
We're good. That's Empress. That's Drippy Dre. So Sonia, give us a little history about kind of where you want to start with your story.
Well, where do you want me to start? From the
The
beginning?
beginning.
From the beginning. Start. You know, the cool thing with Sonia is she was starting to tell me the story, and then I was like, you know what, Sonia? I don't want you to tell me the whole story. I want to hear it with my cast members and my hosts. So start from, you know, being 18 and moving to Florida.
Okay, so I moved from Brentwood to Fort Lauderdale, and at 18 years old, I met my ex. Mind you, I didn't date or anything throughout high school or anything. So this was my first. I met my, I'm gonna call him, I met my ex, and we dated from 18 to 25. That's when we got our first son.
Okay.
And then at 26, I got married and we moved to Georgia.
So what did you like about him? What made you, that was your first, what attracted you to him?
You know what? My parents had me so sheltered. I was attracted to that bad boy image.
And when you say bad boy, what's bad boy?
Bad boy, you know, street person, gold chains, gold teeth, you know, just went against the grain. Because I've always went, you know, always listened to my parents, was the honor society, did all that type of stuff. And I broke loose. You know, when you raise so strict and then you finally get that little piece of freedom, you just kind of, you know, well, that was for me in my experience. So I met him, we got married, and then from the time we came to Georgia, that's when things started to change. He would go out, he's hanging out, doing all this, and left me home with my, you know, with the baby.
Right.
All the time. And I was like, you know, he even have work functions and everything, he wouldn't take me. And I'm like, what's up? You know, do I look like Medusa? Or, you know, I didn't know what it was. And every time I asked him, you know, he started getting really aggressive with me. But mind you, he was aggressive with me from the time we were young. You know, what the F is wrong with you? Why you asking me? Every time I asked him something, it's like he kind of suppressed me.
Right.
So then moving forward, I got my other daughter. Um,
So let me stop you right there. So,
uh-huh.
and from the very beginning, the relationship was, you would say the communication was rocky.
It was really rocking
He
because, you
talked
know,
to you basically.
right. I mean, and he was, you know, basically verbally abusive. And it got so bad to the point where I got scared to ask him questions or even try to bring up anything. Um, and it's like I knew my place, you
Right.
know.
But you was dating him from 18, right?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
from 18 to 25, this was his behavior.
This was his behavior. And it got worse as we got older. I mean,
Okay.
it really got worse.
So at 25, y'all had your first child.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
what made you continue to stay in a relationship at that point when he was verbally abusive?
You know what? I think it was because I really didn't have experience and I didn't think, okay, now I got a kid and I was financially dependent on him too.
Oh, okay.
So I know, you know, I didn't think I could make it on my own and I stuck at it for years. I mean, I'm 50 years old now and I
Wow.
only moved out 3 years ago,
Mm.
Mm,
4 kids later.
wow.
Jeez.
So you had the first at 25. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I had my daughter. I got her 5 years later, and then I had another boy. I got him a couple of years after, another 3 years later, and then my last baby, I had him at the age of 39, which was the worst pregnancy ever. I mean, I cried every single day. Went into I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety. I mean, I dropped all the way down to 95 pounds.
Wow.
Um, start getting worse as the women start calling me on the phone. And if I say anything about it, I mean, I literally, one time I got beat up before it. So,
Hold up. Say that again.
you know, the women, the girls, they would call me and harass me. One of them, I had to file a TPO on her
Oh
and he
wow.
beat me up and took me to the court and made me drop the charges.
He
She
did
beat
or
you up?
she did?
No, he got mad at me because I filed the TPO against her
What's a
and
TPO? I'm sorry.
a temporary protective order
Okay.
Mhm.
because she was harassing me. I mean, the phone calls and
Yeah.
it got so bad. And understand when you're under depression and anxiety, those things really
They
take a
make
toll.
it so it's heightened.
Yeah,
Totally understand.
it made it worse. Um, so he beat me up. I dropped the charges, and he continued with his thing. And then there was the next one, and the next one, and then one. I mean, last now the one that really make put everything. She has a child for him now, and they're doing their thing. But it got so bad that I had to move out the house the year that I moved. We just finished paying for that house, and I had to pick up and leave and just start all over again.
Wow.
I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. If I passed by his job, the place of employment, I was having anxiety attacks. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Because I was scared I was gonna, meet up with her at the store or meet up with him, or it was just, and and I think the problem was that I loved him more than I loved myself. I forgot who
Mm.
Sonia was. I am now learning who Sonia is and what I like because he suppressed me for such a long time.
Now, when you introduced them to your parents, what were they saying about him early
My
on?
Well, my parents, I'm a first generation American. My parents, both my mom and dad from Guyana. Um, so yeah. So when he came, my father did not like him at all.
So that didn't give you no kind of thing to say.
Not really, because I'm like, I'm in love. You don't know him. Just because he's not from Guyana doesn't mean he's bad.
Right.
Um, but my dad seen it, And matter of fact, a funny story. My father always carried guns with him. He was just that type of person. He liked going hunting. And one time he was at the house and he was sitting at the dining room table. My father came and he put a gun down on the table and he said, "This one has your name." And that's how much he didn't like him. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry to laugh.
I can laugh at it now, but back then I was like, "Dad, how can you do such a thing?" You know.
No,
But
I would have been pissed. Like, Dad, what are you doing?
exactly. But my dad, I mean, and my dad was on point. He knew it. And I could say at the age of 50, I'm like, when parents say something, they see something.
They
Right.
usually see.
Yeah.
I think it's that energy. They read energy the same way we read energy, but they're reading it from a non-biased place where we don't feel like we're connected with that. They're not connected as we are to the person, so they can see things that we can't see. So you said
Absolutely.
his behavior, his language started off being disrespectful.
Yeah, he was
Was,
just
was
really disrespectful.
was that the first time he put hands on you over that woman, or did it happen
Um,
prior to that?
prior to that, we got into a little squabble. But after, and it sounds like I'm making excuses, but as I think I was in his way of
Say
him,
that again.
I think because I was in his way, he was so angry at me. He was always angry at me.
Hmm.
Um, and then as the kids got older, they start picking up this stuff. And he come home and we're downstairs, we're looking at TV and whatnot. And as soon as we hear the door open, everybody squabbles up the stairs and go in their room. Even my small kids are doing this.
Wow.
Um, and then my children start seeing things. And it wasn't a good look at all. And like I said, my last pregnancy, he was so mad that I kept him. He
Really?
wasn't, yeah, he was so angry. And mind you, the first, well, one of the women, the ones that I filed the TPO on, she was pregnant.
She was pregnant.
She was pregnant.
Wow.
And, I was pregnant. And he was so angry that I kept this baby. You have no idea how he made my life a living hell in that pregnancy. There's
So
nothing.
So my question to you, and I need you to speak up just a little bit louder.
Okay.
So how did this affect your children? Because at this point, there's a lot of verbal abuse. I'm pretty sure it's emotional as well. So how did it start to kind of play into your family life?
Um, my boys, they're definitely very angry. They're so angry. Um, my daughter, she has issues. And she was a daddy's girl. You know, um, but like they have little to no communication with him. He don't call them, they don't call him. As far as my baby boy, now he's 10. You know, how can you miss something you never had?
Right.
You know, um, you
So
know.
where do you and this is all respectful. Where do
Hmm.
you think you might have overlooked some steps and when because sometimes it's like a job, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes we stay places too long
Right.
and we could see that we're supposed to leave it, but we stick around. So I'm just trying to figure out at what point did you realize you kind of maybe took a misstep or should have said, I should have got out of this a lot sooner.
You know what? It took to the point when I don't know. To be honest with you, it's just like enough was enough. When the last fight that we had, and I'm even embarrassed to say this, but he gave me certain things, illnesses that I should not have that I had to go to the doctor for,
Right.
and I was like, you know what, I gotta go. This is and I wanted it more than he wanted it, and my
But
kids were.
what did you want more than him? The
I
family
wanted
life,
him
the
to, yeah,
marriage?
I wanted him to love me and my family as much as, I put out. Um, and I did a lot, you know what I'm saying? I went to school, went to work, I helped him start his business. We started, I got my real estate license, we bought some rental properties. I was doing, but it's like he never appreciated me. I don't
So
know.
nothing was really good enough for
It
him.
was never good enough. Nothing was ever good enough.
So looking back and where we are today, you say you got out of the relationship 3 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's in the chat room that got any questions for Sonia, please start filling up the chat room with any questions. Drippy Dre, I know she's not done with her story, but I want to stop here for a second and see if my hosts have any questions for you, Drippy Dre and Empress, at this point.
Um, Not really any questions. I'm hearing you and I'm listening to you, and I'm seeing a lot of parallels um from my oldest sons. I call him the donor now because his dad is my fiance. Like that's his dad. But
Mm-hmm.
like I just want it gets better. It definitely gets better.
Yeah,
My
and
question is, my
uh-huh.
question is, being that you see some things going with the kids, do you see parallels that you see with him with the kids, or is it just more so that the anger is an outcry? Do you see some of those narcissistic traits in your kids as well?
um, I maybe the third boy, but I see some more anger than anything else.
Now,
Are they
Um,
angry with you?
no, they supported me with the move. They were happy that we moved, even though we just started from scratch. They were happy that I made the move, and it's I don't know if you believe in it, but the heaviness in that house was so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like really heavy. You
You
could
can feel
feel
it.
it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now where I'm at now, it's light. I mean, I could go to sleep at night and don't worry about him coming up 4 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
6. I don't have to worry about that. My kids, they laugh. We can laugh and we can have fun. When he will come home and if we're having fun, everybody goes up inside their room.
mm,
So they just didn't want to deal because he comes in with all this negative energy.
I know
Is
what that's
he
like.
or was he is was I'm not sure what the correct verb is, but like is it cyclical? Like is there someone in his family he was like following after, or this was he the black sheep?
I mean, I don't know of anybody in this family, but to be, when to look and think about it now, he's not a family person. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He was very, he's not kind to his mom.
mm,
And I used to say things to him like, you have to be kinder to your mom. You never make your mother drop tears on because of you. Things like that I would say. Because he's just really, you know, what the fuck you want, mom? That type of deal. Who speaks
Mm-hmm.
up? Um, I don't know. I don't know if anybody in his family that's like that. To be quite honest with you.
It's this is a saying, hurt people,
Yeah,
you know.
and he is from a divorce. His mom and dad divorced years ago when he first came to this country. So
Where did he come from?
Haiti.
Oh, so he was Haitian.
Mm-hmm.
pray for Haiti, by the way. Now, I
Yes.
got a question for you, serious.
Uh huh.
Would this be something that you would be taking on a therapeutic note? Because it seems like you're self-medicating and you're fixing a lot of things yourself. But would you be needing professional help outside of the realms of your own help?
Oh, I've definitely had to go to therapy. I still go to therapy. There's a lot of things that I still need to work on. I'm very guarded. I haven't dated nobody, but I don't even foresee that happening to me. Um, I don't have faith in the special person or the second around love or anything like that. It's gonna happen. I mean, I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm just the kids, and after they grow up and leave, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Wow. You know, what's I
I'm
guess
sorry,
what's
I'm
the
getting
good
emotional over here. I'm
what's
sorry.
the biggest thing you learned from taking from this? Looking
The big,
back,
the biggest thing is that I had to love yourself. You
right?
got to love, and I'm gonna start crying now. But you gotta learn to love yourself, and don't lose who you are. Just because you love somebody, you want them to love you. You know,
Right.
Amen.
You gotta love yourself, and I'm still learning to. I'm sorry, I'm still
That's okay.
learning to
No
love
No,
worries.
you're fine.
myself. I'm learning to do that. You know,
Um, are you spiritual at all?
I am. Well, I don't go to church every Sunday, but I do believe that there's a higher power. Because trust and believe. If there wasn't a higher power, if there wasn't by the grace of God, I wouldn't be here because I would have done something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, my kids are my biggest cheerleaders, and I had to be there for them.
If
No,
if you have a Bible, read the story of Joseph because that's what helped me.
Joseph. Okay.
Joseph and his brothers, and he
Uh huh.
got the coat. And I'm not gonna start preaching, but the end of it is like he went through hell. Like everybody turned on him, and no matter how they tried to get him down,
Right.
he ended up going through that journey because he was supposed to be a king,
Right.
and he wouldn't have been a king if he didn't go through. So
Right.
it helped me, but
You
yeah,
know. So I want to say something to you. Just listening to your story is compelling. You definitely have a lot of strength because it takes a lot to endure that type of relationship. Not only was it emotional and verbal, but it was physical.
mm-hmm.
And for a woman to kind of be in that environment, raising children, you're not only scared for yourself, but you're also probably scared for your children.
Right.
And then your children develop these I don't want to say symptoms, but these behaviors due to watching, what's going on in the household.
Right.
So, you got to commend yourself for getting out because some people don't leave.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I gotta give you that, enough to recognize that it wasn't something that you had to stay in and you realize it wasn't good enough for you. And the main thing you said is loving yourself. So you hear a
Yes.
lot of people say, you got to love yourself. But a lot of people truly don't love
Don't love
themselves
them
and they
and
look
don't
for
know how to.
validation
Exactly.
in different things, whether it's people, friends, drugs, whatever it is, they're looking for some validation. And the strong message that I think is going to touch a lot of people, especially women, is when you said you was looking for something. You wanted it more than he did. You
Right.
wanted that love, you wanted that relationship. And it ain't for us to understand why you chose to stay.
Right.
It's just a good eye opener for us to look at somebody else's experience. So I want to commend you for even just having the strength enough to walk away and understand that
Yes.
it is about self-love and loving yourself enough to say, I'm not going to tolerate it no more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And that first step is the hardest step. You did the hard part
It is
because
very
that
hard.
was like, wait, I love me.
Right.
I'm doing this for
Could,
me. You
could,
did it.
could you highlight some of the points of why you knew you was dealing with a narcissist in case somebody doesn't know?
Right.
Well, listen, the world revolves around that one
Mm-hmm.
person, and they don't have any empathy,
Mm.
or they could see you crying and you saying you're hurt, and they're still going to keep going and going and do whatever makes them happy. Um, you know,
Gaslighting.
right? It's all about them. And he he said something to me, and it really kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, he has said something to me. He said, "I'm gonna make myself happy no matter what. If I gotta fight God Himself." And I'm
Mm.
Mm.
like,
Oh,
now that I'm looking, I'm like, who had fought God and won? You know what I'm saying? And for you to fix your mouth,
Thoughts.
say something like
Yeah.
that, it's like, wow. Because now I'm looking back and I'm thinking about all the things that he's done and said. I'm like, wow, you really got some issues. You
Right.
have some serious issues. But yeah, when you can't feel empathy for other people, or even care that you're hurting other people, or even your own children, it, it's very hurtful, and I have my good days, I have my bad days, I still can't sleep without taking something to help me sleep because I developed such a bad insomnia.
Mm.
I could be up for hours, and if I don't take something, I'm not going to sleep because I developed. And now I can't get off of it. um, Trying, but you know,
I understand. So, what made you finally walk away? What was the final straw after four children? And how many years from 18 to what, 50 you was with him?
Well, I'm 50 now, so that was like 47 when I left. It
So
was
what's
47.
that, Empress? How many years is that? From 18 to 47. You the math person.
Hey, I
29.
don't know. 29?
There we go. Drippy's the math person. You're the
19.
And it was like that's more than half of my life. He took
right.
all my
What's up the calculator? Because, yeah.
yeah.
School is
29.
summertime.
Yeah.
So the main thing to make you walk away at this point was what? And say I'm gonna start all over.
29.
You know, it
Uh,
was I just felt as though it was just getting worse. You know, it was getting worse. I mean, coming home and then you coming home at 5 o'clock in the morning, still laying up in the bed with me, and then expecting something from me. And I was like, you know what, this shit got to stop. And one of my rental properties that I had bought, the tenant was leaving, and I don't know if God put it in my spirit or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, I gotta move. And my oldest boy, he has friends. You know, I was like, you know what? I need some help, and they all came. 'Cause we just took our clothes. I have no furniture or anything like that, and they were like, okay, Miss Sonia, we got you. And they all came and helped me move. And one Saturday when he left to go to work,
You just
I
moved.
took my children and we hauled tail.
Wow.
I was working a second job and I was saving all this time. I was saving money because I know he wasn't going to help. I was saving money. And I bought furniture for beds for all the kids. I had to buy a washer and dryer, things like that to just make us comfortable in the house. And ironically, the address that the house is, and that's where I was sending in the area my kids were going to school because we weren't going to school where we actually live.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? My kids, their friends are here. This is where the school is. And I was like, I just got to bust the move. And,
So I
I
have
commend you for that.
definitely I have another question for you, Sonia.
uh-huh,
So when people get in these types of relationships, because you leave, it doesn't end there because you still have children with them.
right.
So how do you navigate through that portion of it now? Like, is he the type of man that still like wants, like, is he fighting to be
No,
in his children's life if he's
no,
giving you problems?
no. He never even
it's
knows.
all about him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say narcissists
He don't care
usually
about them kids.
don't care
But
about
that's
their children either.
the reason why I said that, because that's a controlling factor.
Yeah.
She left, he can't
Hmm.
control that. Now she has the children. So I'm trying to figure out, is there still any ways he's
No,
trying to
no,
control the situation?
because to be a parent, that means that they have to not think about them first.
Them. Yeah, you got the
So
I think,
enemy.
like
yeah,
usually they're like, well, how my kids don't call me, they don't need me.
yeah. And you
They
know what?
want them. They want everybody to come to them, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
Sonny's shaking their head. Yeah, they want
yeah,
everybody to come to them.
yeah. And I think I made it easier for him, to do whatever he wanted to do. I took the kids and I left. He didn't like. It's not like how you have co-parenting. We don't do co-parenting.
mm.
Now, one thing he'll give me money every so often for the kids, and but money doesn't. He likes to
He
buy.
doesn't raise a kid.
Yeah, he just and now I got one daughter. She's about to graduate from Georgia State. My other son just went to Atlanta Tech. My
Mm.
baby's in middle school. So I mean, like I said, you know, he didn't give me no pushback about the kids at all.
Right.
I took the kids and made it. It's all good.
I
But
have a
with the
question.
infidelities and the abuses and stuff like that, did you ever take out time during that period for yourself to say, I got to get out of this and I want to I got to do better for me?
I did. I actually I started back school and trying to get my LPC to become a licensed therapist.
Okay.
I currently work as a case manager, so I work like underneath the therapist where I go into the home and I help people to develop coping skills to deal with depression and anxiety and all of that. So that's something I like. I would love to work with women who's been in abusive relationships. I also would love to work with children that's been abuse with, whether it's mentally, sexually. I mean, as a child, I was sexually abused.
Mm.
So that's something I was, those are all things I've been working on, and I would love to help and give back to people because God has really put some really good people in my life that helped me.
Right.
Even like when I was having my youngest, he did not help me with the baby. I mean, some people out of nowhere, my neighbor gave me 2 cases of diapers. I mean, it just I have one friend gave me a whole year's worth of children's clothing for babies. Well,
Mm.
and they were hand me downs, but I was so grateful for it because I
Right.
remember when I couldn't buy groceries. You know what I'm saying? He'd give me $30 to buy a week groceries for 4 kids.
Crazy.
Yeah, I sold my clothes to, I don't know if you know about, Plato's Closet and all those things. I sold my clothes just so I could get gas money and buy groceries and all. So now I'm in a place where I could take care of, I could do things. I'm not living, I'm living from paycheck to paycheck, but I'm doing it.
Right.
Right.
You're living.
Yes.
Right. What was his initial reaction when you left? Did he say or do anything or?
He didn't really, I think he was shocked that I did leave.
Hmm.
But he's not a person that's going to tell me his emotions that if I hurt him or if I did anything, because he got to be this big, strong, I'm going to do this and I'm that,
He didn't try to gaslight you and
Nah.
that whole guilt trip. Why'd you leave?
No,
No.
he didn't. He never fought for us. He never said, Sonia, I want this or I want this family. And, because to me, I think I have an amazing family. You know what I'm
So
saying?
y'all just separated. Y'all still married?
I was
Yeah.
going to ask, did you get the divorce?
He has not yet given it to me. I don't know what is he holding on to, but no.
That's the control factor. That's
Right.
why I asked you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at, because once you left, I'm pretty sure, that portion of the relationship is over. But hey, Empress, read a few comments and I want to open up the chat room. Sonia, you said you'll answer a few questions if we had some, correct? So
Sure.
I want to
Yeah,
open
I
up
think
the floor to
everybody's
those.
been paying very close attention to
Right.
you, Sonia. I think
They rooting for you. John Wilden just
Yeah.
said for you, Sonia. They
Jessica
talking about you,
Melendez.
baby. They showing you love. That's
Yeah.
all.
Jessica Melendez, you deserve happiness. Don't let no one person destroy that for you. We all have been with the wrong person, but once you learn to love you and put you first, it gets easier. And I totally agree with Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
She's also saying great for you. Latanya McPherson, how you doing, sweetheart? God is using your test as your testimony. Even sharing tonight will bless someone else. May the Most High place and keep you and your family continue to trust in only Him.
Right.
That's
Thank
right.
And I'm just, there's a lot of emotions going around in the room with the live and in the chat, and I'm feeling you and everybody else.
Your boy
Bongo.
Bongo, you.
Right.
And you said you left 3 years ago?
Yeah.
2, right?
3.
2, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you I couldn't talk about it 3 years afterwards. This is almost 8 years later, and I'm just able to talk about it. So you have a strength there that you don't even see yourself.
What was the first sign that you seeing?
We have all seen it.
What was your first sign as you seeing him being a narcissist? The first thing that you could do that was memorable to you, that stood out.
When just when he had the gall just to, okay, like I said, we had rental properties, right? And he moved in one of his females in one of the rental properties. And
what the
fuck? Oh, that's bold.
Very bold. And
what state is this? Georgia? Are you allowed to own guns? I'm shooting her.
How did you find that out, Sonia?
Because we have 2 properties on the same block, right? And I went to go clean up one of the houses that when the tenants moved, and I noticed her car and his car was there, and I'm like, what the, and when I said something, it was like he was ready to throw down with me. I couldn't say nothing. I mean, even and it was just like I was supposed to take it.
Was he bringing the children? Huh? Was he bringing the children around these other women?
The last one he did. The last one, the one that he's currently with now, he did. And
Well,
that's
the one that the one that he tells everybody he's with, because I
Yeah.
doubt it's just one now.
yeah.
So if
Is
it's
he older than
anything,
you?
He's only 1 year older than me.
Okay.
so if it's anything that anyone is sharing a similar story to, like yours, I guess if you can give them any kind of advice, what would it be at this point, looking back at everything you've gone through, what you've been through? What would it be?
When you start seeing those signs, when you feel like you're being suppressed and you can't be your true self, you got to really question it. And don't be afraid to question it. See, I was afraid. I was really afraid. Um, and you can't be afraid. You got to build that strength inside of you. At some point, you got to build that strength. And we're like, you know, you just can't be afraid, no matter how many, the cussings or the beating or whatever. We just cannot be afraid. You got to love yourself. I cannot stress that more than anything else. You got to love yourself. And I prayed, and when I prayed, God actually answered my prayers. And I'm just, I never thought that I would be able to take care of myself and these kids because I was not in that financial position before. And when I prayed, I said, God, please just give me the strength to be able to take care of these kids. And so we can not just be getting by, but more than getting by.
Right.
And when I said those things, oh my God, you would not, I, I mean, you would not believe how my prayers were starting to get answered little by little. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
prayed. I also prayed because I was loving him still. And I said, God, please help me to stop loving him. Help me to love myself. And I'm gonna start crying. But I'm amazed how I'm not in love anymore. You know,
Right.
I'm just not in love anymore. I mean,
Well,
I got answered it.
what it seems like has happened is the love that you have for him, you started to put on yourself.
Exactly.
Because
That's what I did.
it's coming out in your conversation and the way how you dealt with that
Right.
scenario. Because there's a lot of people right now that's watching this is
Uh-huh.
in that scenario, and they're scared, and they don't know how to walk away. They haven't found the strength to believe in themselves enough to say that they love themselves enough to walk away or to leave it. And so hopefully your story inspires them like they did, because it's a very touching story, but it's real. It's not she's making this up. This is her life. And for someone to actually, like Empress said, it took her a while to even talk about whatever
Yeah.
she went through. And I've been through some things too, and it took me a while to even be able to express it. But you know what the lovely thing about it is? When you're able to talk about it, that means you can move past it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I'm sure you're starting to feel a little bit lighter every time.
Oh, I am. I
Yeah.
definitely am feeling lighter.
Jessica, me too.
Y'all stop crying, man. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Whatever, we ladies, we cried, damn
Yeah.
it.
Listen, I done been with some ladies that wasn't crying.
Run.
Word.
You know,
Well,
I hate John. Please put John's comment up. We need some comic relief right now.
John Wildinger said
John,
he's in a
John is in a
narcissistic
narcissistic
relationship.
with himself. He needs to get out.
Nah, I just think that I think people put themselves on a pedestal, and some people put themselves way higher than they need to be, and it comes a fine point where you got to be able to see the line of somebody's feeling themselves and doing way too much.
right.
So how you said that he said he would fight God, like
That's too
you are way out of bounds. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And anybody that would say something like that, I would look at him and just be like, well, how you feel about me? How hard you gonna fight for me?
Right.
You understand?
It's my dad used to talk to me a lot about, like, whenever I had a breakup of what to look for. Like, you learned this, like, what did you take from it? And it was like, it was something from the narcissistic relationship, but it was like, if I'm building you up, you supposed to be building me up, and then neither one of us will fall. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to fight for you because I'm fighting for you, and I don't have to fight for me because you fighting for me. Like, we fighting together. Like,
Right.
but women have a tendency to kind of overlook, like, nah, if I do this for him, if I do this, he'll see. You know, like, I'm doing what these other women won't do, and like, if I do
Wait a minute, we say the same thing, love.
you have a tendency to do it.
We say the same thing, my love.
We do
got
it in
the
different
same
ways.
talk,
Women are
the same
nurturers.
love
We do it
language.
and care, and you guys tend to do it with money. But yeah, we do.
Nah, but it won't even be money. A lot of things would be time. My time is more valuable than my money. So when I sacrifice my time and I give you my time, I'm sacrificing money that I could be getting elsewhere. Time, biggest deal.
That is true.
And that's the one thing you can never get back is your time.
Most valuable
realize
resource.
how precious that is as you get older.
I had a professor that said that's the only thing that's real.
You can't recreate it. You can't make a minute.
You can't, right? It's gone.
Hello.
Look, there we go. Like
that's the bad part when you're in a situation like that with somebody, because they tear you down, but you really learn how to reconstruct yourself. Sonia, I see you under reconstruction. I don't see you as somebody who's finished. I don't think God is done with you yet. I think your plateau is going to be selfless, not a selfish situation. So you'll probably be able to spur a lot of help with others. I see a beacon of light with you.
Definitely.
Yes.
And even,
absolutely.
Yeah, and even you said that after your children are gone and you don't know what you're gonna do. I think by that time you're sorting things out now, and I think everybody on this panel been through some emotional and heartbreaking relationships at one point in their life, because we're old enough to be at that point. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the key is what you said. It all comes from self-love, and then you're not the same woman you were then.
No
and
way.
that's what you have to realize. You're not the same woman that you were then. So that will never happen to you again. Ever. Because that's the beauty about going through these things, is that you come out somebody else. You come out somebody different, someone seasoned, someone sharpened. And so when these situations arise again, like the vibe that your parents caught early, you see them, you get to see them for yourself. And that's the beauty of learning and loving yourself. Because when you take the time to love yourself and fix yourself up, you ain't gonna walk down that same street no more, I guarantee you. And that's the beauty of it all. And that's what I see when you're talking now. I see that progression, that state that you're healing yourself, you're going through therapy, and this is just a good situation for anybody that's watching and listening to learn how she's getting through it and how she's getting by. And I'm pretty sure there's some stories that are not as great as yours and some greater, but there's a lesson in every one. And I appreciate you for sharing it with us tonight. I appreciate all our comments and people. We coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. But Sonia, you're welcome to the show anytime you want to.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
This was amazing. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
And we will be reposting it so people get to see it and understand where you come from and where you're gonna be. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some guys probably hollering at you, But
do me a favor real quick so I can go like this, because I'm like trying to check out her hair while she's talking. It looks so dope. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I don't think she heard you.
I was saying, let me see your
my hair,
the braids.
See, my friend, my daughter's friend Brittany, she did this for me.
It looks really nice.
You look good.
Like, she doing her hair. I'm trying to get tips.
Right. Well, I wanna. You can stay on with us, Sonia, but let's go to the question at hand before we close up tonight. And what was that question, Empress? You want to read it?
The one about the spouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is an interesting one.
Okay. What would you do if you found out your new spouse has been being dishonest, not reporting debts paid to you, and spending the cash on frivolous things and not the bills? Not telling you anything. My question is, should you have to pry into your partner's finance, or shouldn't we be able to trust each other?
I think the lines of communication should be open, and we need to have a real live discussion. We got to sit down like adults because we've been playing kid games, and once the kid games is over, adults got to be adults. You can play, but for so long. But when you got to really live life and them bills got to get paid, I can't be in the dark or on the curb because you out there playing betting the horses.
Man, listen, that happened to me once and one time only. I was done. Landlord calling me bugging about the rent. I'm like, the rent was paid. So and so paid you. Nah, he only gave me $700. The rent was $1,750. He only gave me $700. But I saw him walk in the day before with Prada's and a Lacoste shirt.
Right.
That's where the rent money went.
Wow.
Okay.
I think, for me, this is how I'm going to answer the question. Through time, you get to know who your partner is. Doesn't always happen right away.
No.
You get to see who they really are over time. And if one thing I always say, if you don't pay attention, you pay the price. A lot of times we don't pay enough attention, so we end up paying the price. So when you're dealing with somebody that's dishonest and someone that's not, that you really can't count on, at that particular time, it's up to you to make that decision. Most people will say, oh, I'll forgive. I'm not that forgiving. You only get one time really to mess up on me. So that situation, we would have been done as soon as that would have happened, we would have been. I would have been like this. And that's because I'm not the same person I was.
Send me on vacation with my friends.
Regina not forgiving either. She said she should have cooked a good pot of grits with sugar.
Cheese, make it sticky.
Yeah, get that ass, because you bugging out here. We can't be playing around, man. They ain't giving out stimulus checks this year.
Right.
You can't be messing the bag up, man. Get the money. Make sure the money comes home and take care of your family.
Yes, they do if you got kids.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't got kids, you trying to make some, you still gonna need a couple of dollars.
So what's your take on that question, Sonia?
As far, if I was to get another partner,
yeah, that.
I mean, I would be more vigilant now.
Right.
I won't take things for granted and just that he's gonna do what's right. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be more vigilant, keep my eyes open, my ears open. I see some statements around. That's what I would do.
Pay attention.
Pay attention, definitely. And not everything I would, because I believed everything.
Right.
Don't be nobody fool. Nobody's fool.
I would not be a fool again. Definitely.
I got that one. Well, we coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. I want to thank Sonia again for sharing our story. Everybody that came in. Latanya McPherson had a question. The question is, why does the person feel like they have to hide and lie?
Because they don't want to show you the real them. If they show you who they really are, you don't want to deal with them.
Right. But Ulysses answered it. Liars are invested to keeping what they want. They don't care about nothing else.
Hello, that's the answer. They invested in keeping you around, big dummy.
And trust me, I was a big dummy at one point.
Me too. What big dummy right across the forehead. That. But not no more though. And that's what we trying to tell you, Sonia. You're gonna come out of that cocoon, a beautiful butterfly, and you're gonna fly and blossom. Don't worry about it. You got this.
Thank you.
That's right, man. And on that note, y'all, we're gonna thank all our guests that was in the chat room tonight. Once again, thank you, Sonia, for sharing your story. I want to thank Latanya McPherson, Ulysses, Leon,
Bongo. I saw you in here.
Bongo, John Wallinger.
Jessica, as always, our faithful Gerald, our faithful ones. Yo, Gerald, man, we gotta get a couple of them on the show. So what do we want to talk about next week, y'all?
Send us a message.
Put it out there. What we want to talk about next week? 1 minute.
We talk about what we want to talk about. I want to talk about hip hop, man. Hip hop been getting beat up, man. Let's talk about hip hop.
Let's talk about.
You want to talk about sex? He want to talk about hip hop.
Yeah, so it's sex and hip hop. We can talk about WAP.
Wow. All right, thanks for tuning in. Once again, every Sunday, the conversation with James Billings and friends, and you know who that is: Drippy Dre, Empress, and Chef Tammy. Once again, thank you for y'all all.
Goodbye, John.
John, go to sleep.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
John.
Bye, John.
We
And
love
we out of
y'all.
here until next Sunday.
Wow.
Peace,
Good
y'all.
night, everyone.
Thank you,
for
Sonia.
having me.
It's so phenomenal.